Before I start this video, I want to say thanks to anybody who subscribed from my last video. I honestly didn't think that anybody would ever see this channel, but obviously people have, and thanks for that. But that's all I'm gonna say, because I really hate when YouTubers make things like that really sappy, so I'm not gonna make it really sappy. But today I wanted to talk about the TikTok art community, and that's because that's the one that I'm mostly part of. On YouTube, it's not that bad. I've only ever gotten compliments on my art on YouTube, so thanks for that. On Twitter, I've been off of Twitter for a bit. It's a scary place on there. I only go on there on Thursdays for JJK updates. And Instagram Reels, it's like 10 times worse than TikTok. I stay off of there completely. But specifically on TikTok, the art community is so toxic. There's always something going on. There's always someone being mean. There's always someone getting bullied. But this is all I've observed throughout the week. So the first thing I want to talk about is people who are talking about their fear of art regression, which is like every week somebody is making up something to make themselves more insecure about their art. And I'm not saying that art regression doesn't exist, because it definitely does exist. But there's always a new thing to be insecure about. Is my art style basic? Am I regressing in art? Is my rendering too simple? I don't know how long it's going to take for people to realize that your art is simply your art. No right, no wrong. There are clearly rules to art, but if it's bad to other people, it's bad to other people. The only thing that matters at the end of the day is if you like your own art. And you could be drawing Picasso level pieces and people will still have something to say. I have an internet TikTok mutual who has some the best rendering I've seen, and people still give her shit. She posted a video of her sketch and then her rendered piece, and people were being really backhanded in the comments saying, I preferred the sketch before you rendered it. I liked it before you rendered it. She didn't ask. She literally did not ask. Which is another thing I wanted to talk about, and that's when people who comment on artists' posts will say either the most backhanded stuff or just be super sarcastic and rude, especially on beginner artists' posts. They will always have comments that say, oh, that's not, ooh, or art lore. When are y'all gonna get over this whole art lore thing? This thing has been going on for ages, and I still see comments under beginner artist posts saying, art lore, look guys, we got some new art lore. Are you so bored in your life that you have to go bully a 14-year-old that's just starting off on art? I saw a post of somebody drawing Kinich from Genshin Impact, and the comments, oh my god, it was all sarcastic people, and people saying, it's that one Kaya fan art. Kaya? I don't know Genshin Impact characters. It's that one Kaya fan art. OMG, I'm getting flashbacks. That one Kaya fan art. How hard is it to be nice? Because some people, it's literally not that hard to be nice. Thankfully, some people in that comment section were nice to her and giving her compliments, while others were giving her criticism, which is another thing. If a beginner artist doesn't ask for your criticism, do not give it to them. It's so easy to just leave a compliment, or better yet, scroll by if you don't like it. And people will always say, oh, I just want them to improve. They will be able to figure that out by themselves. They're not babies, okay? They're new to art, not new to life. I got little to no criticism growing up, and my art turned out decent, okay? I'm still learning, I'm still progressing, but I got there by myself. The next thing I want to talk about is this whole discourse with certain platforms that people use. The amount of people that I get that say, why are you even using Procreate? Procreate sucks. I agree, Procreate is really fucking hard for me to use. I've used it for 2 years at this point, and I still can't get rendering down fully. And if you take my first piece that I did on Ibis Paint on my iPad and compare it to the first piece I did on Procreate, the difference is there. The Ibis Paint one is clearly better, I'm aware of that, but I spent $10 on this platform, so I'm going to use this platform. And then you have people that use Clip Studio Paint that are telling you that you can't get by as a professional unless you use Clip Studio Paint. I don't know if you guys know this, but the fucking software is expensive. It is a monthly payment. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do a one and done payment on Procreate and have that be it. And some people can't even afford an iPad, but they still want to create art. So then they're going to be using Ibis Paint and using their finger to draw. So at the end of the day, the software that you use literally doesn't even matter at this point. It's just on the skill of the user. And you want to know how that is quite literally a fact? You have numerous speed paints of people drawing full-on rendered pieces on Microsoft Paint, the lowest of the lowest platforms, and they're still managing to make full-blown art pieces on there. So this whole making people feel bad for whatever software that they use to draw is so dumb. And IBIS Paint users have big egos too. They're always saying, why would you waste money on a software? My thing is free. Good for you. I chose to spend the $10. I'm aware of that. I'm aware that IBIS Paint is free. I just want to use Procreate. Simple as that. But yeah, if you can get the software that you use to work with your art, well, that's all that matters. And then the next thing I want to talk about, this happened to me. This is why I'm bringing this up. This happened to me on TikTok. And that's when you draw a drawing and people will be telling you how to draw your own drawing. Oh, you drew Pinkie Pie as a human? Well, you should have drawn her black. You should have done that. I don't know how to get this through people's heads, but the My Little Pony cast or any other character that's non-human, literally most of them do not have any canonicized race, ethnicity, color, anything like that they're supposed to be. So at the end of the day, however you draw them is technically not wrong, not right. If you have an issue with somebody's headcanon that they have of a character humanized, draw the character yourself the way you want to, instead of going under people's comments saying, well, actually, you should have drawn this character like this. You should have drawn this character like this. Unless it's a character that is heavily supposed to be a certain ethnicity or race, it shouldn't matter. Like Orisa from Overwatch is a robot, yes, but if I were to draw her as a human, I would most definitely have to have her with locks. I would have to have her as African because that's what her robot is. Her robot is from Africa. She has locks in her actual robot model, so she would be black. So that in that instance, there would be a correct way to draw her as a human. But in other instances with characters like, again, My Little Pony characters, it would not matter. And when I say draw your own version of it, I mean draw your own version of it. Don't go around fixing other people's art because that's literally not going to do anything. You want to know what that shows me? That shows me that you're lazy and that you can't pick up your own pencil and start drawing a drawing. Instead, you got to go trace over somebody else's art and call it a day. And this brings me to another point. And that is when, okay, artists, this happens like way too often. When you are drawing a darker character, yes, and instead of screen recording your iPad or phone, whatever you're drawing on, you take your phone and you record the actual screen of it. And I thought this was common sense, but when you do that, the skin tone appears a lot lighter than it actually is on screen. And I posted a video where that happened, right? And I put in my caption, I said, the skin tone looks lighter than it actually is. And yet, immediately when I post this, I get like 5 comments of people saying, his skin is too light, his skin is too light, his skin is too light. Please learn how to read. I put in the caption, this doesn't even just happen to me only. This has happened to multiple artists. And then immediately you get accused of whitewashing. I didn't whitewash shit. You just can't read the caption where it says that he looks lighter than he actually does on my screen. It's like there's always someone out in the art community on TikTok that is always finding something that somebody's done wrong just to get them canceled or attacked over it. You all need to start canceling and attacking people for shit that they've actually done wrong, instead of trying to make stuff up just to give this community an ounce of life. Like, why are you all so allergic to having a peaceful community? There's always got to be something going on to make something interesting. But anyways, that's really it. This is less commentary, more just ranting. Oh well. But I just had to say something because this community is very frustrating to be a part of.